People's Store, which was a large department store. And I wanted to buy something, and I thought, how am I going to pay for it? So I said, well, I use my dad's credit. So I told the fellow I wanted to put it on his account. He checked it out. My dad was so correct and prompt that he let me have it for my dad. My dad got charged the bill.
So how long did that go? That carry a long ways as far as his credit in your life?
I don't know, but
you used to tell us that you could do anything you want. Your dad had such a good name.
I could go downtown to People's Store and charge, as long as it wasn't too much. I didn't do it very often. I might want a pair of pants or a shirt that I saw, and I'd charge it to that account.
When Phyllis wanted to marry somebody and
that's
not
a good
in the
one.
temple.
Okay.
This is about your dad and about Phyllis going on a mission and how your dad felt about it. Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
This is a good story. Phyllis had come home from a mission, and she worked in Salt Lake. And the fellow who later became the Ensign publisher or editor, the church Ensign magazine, the New Improvement Era. And he was in the Army, been drafted, and he was down at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. He wrote to Phyllis and said, would you come down here? I'd like to marry you. And so my dad said, no, you cannot do that. Now, my dad was what you call a regular churchgoer. And I was very surprised to hear how my dad stood for that. He was very adamant. She was not to go down there. It was and get married out of the temple. And so he told her she could not marry the man out of the temple or anyone. So she told him she couldn't do it. So it went for a while, and she met Ralph. They started dating.
Ralph got back from his mission. That's how it happened.
Well, he was already back for a while.
Oh, okay.
I thought they were on their missions at the same time.
They were, but he came home 6 months after she did because of the war.
Well, men serve longer
her
than
boat
women.
came earlier than his.
Men serve longer than girls. Also, I wanted you to tell about when she was on her mission, how your father felt that you prospered because of her being a missionary.
Well, he told the bishop she could not go because they couldn't even afford new carpet in the living room, which they needed real bad. And he was against her going because he just didn't have the money. And the bishop said, I promise you, if you'll let her go, you'll be able to carpet your house and do anything you want here because the Lord will bless you. So they happened that way.
It worked out. And the end of the previous story is that Phyllis married a great man, better than
in the temple.
As your father suggested. That's great.
About 19 years old, my two buddies and I, there were three of us, went together everywhere. And one fellow went down to San Diego. He joined the Navy and he came back and he said, we should all go in the Navy because it's a good life. You're your own boss. Your parents don't tell you anything. You can go down there and be free. And so I went home and talked to my mother, waited for a couple of days so that things kind of relaxed. And I said, Mother, how do you feel about me going to the Navy for 3 years? And she said, well, she's very wise. She didn't say, no, you can't. She said, I always thought you wanted to go on a mission. And I thought to myself, I do. I don't want to go in the Navy. So I didn't join the Navy. I went on a mission instead. And I'm so much further ahead of those two boys that went in the Navy that I just thank the Lord every day that I didn't go.
You did serve
If it hadn't been for
in the Army.
Yeah. If it hadn't been for my mother being so diplomatic and not saying, you can't go, I'd say, I'm going anyway. I wouldn't have done that to my mother.
But it wouldn't have been your decision though. That was important. She knew that.
And but she was a great lady. She and I were. I still get tears when I think about
your
her.
father
You were
taught
good
you
friends.
to respect your mother.
Oh
That's
yes,
the nice thing.
well, he didn't have to tell me anything. I already knew that. We took trips together all the time, and she was my buddy.
Was your father really kind to your mother?
Oh, very much so. Well, I never saw any rough stuff from my dad with my mother or anything like that.
In fact, it was kind of cute. He loved to kind of tease her a little bit, and kiss her or be a little mushy, and she'd say, "Oh, Art." Not now.
We were outside taking pictures, and he'd reach over and pull her over and kiss her.
And she'd say, "Don't be silly, Art."
Did she miss him a lot when he was gone? Did she ever talk about missing him?
She was pretty self-sufficient.
She pretty well could
Well,
take
she
care
had
of
to.
things.
Yeah.
She was our new Senate president for
And she
9 years.
appreciated the quality of life he provided for her. That was, she always dressed really nice. They had a good income.
When she'd go out to a party or anything for the Relief Society or go to a special meeting in the afternoon, I'd come home and look at the refrigerator and she'd have a note on the door, rice pudding in the refrigerator, go easy on it. And I'd get into it and I didn't have an appetite for supper.
So she knew that you were going to eat the whole thing, huh?
Or come close. But we were real buddies.
Would she always leave treats for you and snacks?
And she's going to be gone very long.
She fed you quite a lot. Did you ever have to fix your own meals at all?
Well, I might have had rice, butter some bread or something like that, but not for a meal.
When I met him, he would send his clothes home in a package to his mother to wash his pants in a very special way. She had pants stretchers that he was meticulous. He had to have his mother wash probably his shirts and his pants. And she would send them back with applesauce cookies.
Did she peel your apples too, Dad?
Everything.
And the bread, so you'd have to eat the crust?
He was almost 30 years old and his mother's mailing him cookies.
And you're telling me not to do much for my kids?
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to see, your kids were better than me.
Goes with the name, doesn't it?
Mail me clothes, I'd send them home, and she'd mail me clean clothes. One of the things that I got in
From
the mail.
Japan?
Mm-hmm. One of the things I got from her was she'd put them in Deseret News section where they had the church news in it. And I'd read the church news when it came. And that's where I saw the sign, and then it said when the Tabernacle Choir went to England, they saw a sign in the depot, "Profanity makes ignorance audible." That's when I put it on the blackboard at our camp there, the port. I said, guys would say, "Deacon, what does that mean?" I said, "That means when you swear, I know how dumb you are."
So you got that from a general conference that she sent to you? The talk she had, did she have it how did she send it to you?
Just wrapped in a.
It was printed up? How was it printed up, like in a magazine like we get it? Or was it printed up just on paper?
No, it was just part of the newspaper. She'd just take the newspaper and cover the clothes.
So it was in a newspaper. Is that Desert, like
And then she'd
church
cover
news?
she'd cover the church news with wrapping paper.
Interesting.
And it'd get to me where I could read it.
So it'd be a synopsis of it, or it'd be full talks?
The whole thing, just like she'd get it home.
Interesting.
But you could do that for your boys if they're gone from you very
I need
long.
to whip this cream and.
When I was in the 6th grade, I got a message one day from home. They called my principal and told the principal that my mother was ill, drastically, terribly ill, that I should go right home. So I went home and she was completely out of her mind. Something that she'd eaten that day or something that got to the wrong place. And they said she won't live past midnight. She can't. There's no way she can. So they gave her a blessing that night. President Western, my dad, and some other men was there, and they gave her a blessing. And she made the comment when she came out of it. It was just like a lightning had gone from her head to her toes. She became well and never was sick again with that. And so I told that story at our meeting in Atlanta, Georgia, when I was still a missionary. And President and Sister Choles liked the story. I embellished it a little bit. But
So you have a testimony of what?
the gospel.
The power of the priesthood.
There was a young man when I was a missionary one time, when I was supervising elder in Central Florida. We went out to this house and this boy had leukemia. And they were afraid he was going to die real soon. So they asked us to give him a blessing. when I gave that boy a blessing, the Lord gave it, I didn't. I felt strength go out of my body. I felt weak when I was through, like I didn't have enough strength to even walk out with my Savior. That I was blessed when I came to this earth to be with the parents I have. I used to see things happen that were strange. And I always grew up to the fact that I was going to go on a mission. I read the letters my sister sent home, and that's what got me to go on a mission, were her letters. And I said to my mother one time when I came home from priesthood meeting, the bishop's son came and spoke to us in teacher's class, priesthood class today, about his mission, and I want to have that experience in the mission field. I felt like when I gave that boy a blessing, the Savior was there and it took the strength out of me and gave it to that boy.
Do you have a testimony that he lives? That he's
He
right.
died shortly after that. But he lived for a good 6 months.
Talking about the
Merciful.
Savior. The Savior lives.
The Savior lives. He's true. I can feel it at times.
Okay, very good.
I'm gonna throw this on YouTube. Okay.
Okay. You gonna throw it on there? Can I get it back? I'm not gonna break that, right? Cut at it?
Well, I had several snacks. Was that in my grade school or in high school?
Both.
I came
No,
home for
do
lunch.
grade school.
I came home for lunch both in grade school and in high school.
For lunch.
They had no cafeteria there. It was a mile home and a mile back.
Uphill both ways.
Uphill both ways.
No funny stuff.
You said that to us all the time growing up.
What?
Uphill both ways.
They've got it. So what else you want? Next.
What was your snack?
What was your snack? I know what it is.
Bread and water.
Bread and milk?
Rice pudding. No?
Trying to think what it was.
Grandma?
The other day, I can't remember what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since then.
Berna?
Berna!
Corn, Bernie. Corn.
Oh, she's not too
Do you have a question? Why don't you go ahead and ask her a question, and we'll ask her when she gets back in. Ask Grandma what she...
I have a question.
Grandpa.
Were you in any clubs? When you were in
Corn,
grade school,
Berna.
high school, were you in any clubs with school?
It's just band.
Band? What instrument did you play?
I played the clarinet the first 2 years, and what did I play in high school, Berna?
Clarinet and then...
Clarinet and oboe.
Oboe.
Oh,
Last 2 years. We performed in the state contest to see who was the best high school band. We won it every time. And that was our theme song, was the oboe playing it. There were 2 of us that played them.
What was your theme song? What was your theme song?
Potatoes.
Didn't have one there.
Oh. What was your high school theme song?
Hmm?
What was your high school theme song? Pocatello.
Potatoes.
Tasted nice and
Same song as Notre Dame.
Used to sing that at football games, basketball games, anytime. It was the same song that, like Alan said, that they played for Notre Dame. We had our own words.
Was it da 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 da? That one?
That's Notre Dame.
Okay, the question that was asked before was what did he have for snacks when he came over for lunch?
Didn't have snacks.
Oh, what did your mother leave in the refrigerator for you?
When she was gone to Relief Society meeting at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, she would leave me a bowl of rice pudding,
Oh.
and I could eat all I wanted. So I love rice pudding.
Alright.
I have a question. Were there any celebrities you liked growing up, like actors or athletes or musicians?
Don't think so. Pocatello High School's kind of calm, you know.
Movies.
Movies?
to
Movie
movies.
stars?
John
We went
Wayne.
to movies, Dad.
Great
Cary Grant.
Depression. Hard times.
Really?
Right.
But Dad,
No,
you
you
went
went
to
to
movies
lots
with
of
your
movies
mom.
with your
Just a
mother.
minute, I can't take both of you.
You went to lots of movies with your mother.
That's not during school.
Well, I hope you didn't go during school. Where the question is, who are some of your favorite heroes growing up? Who are some people you liked, either movie stars or
Yeah.
otherwise?
Trying to think who they were.
Who's your favorite American president?
Wasn't Roosevelt.
Who is it now?
Is it now?
Who's your favorite president
We don't have
in your
one.
lifetime?
We don't have one.
In your lifetime,
Ronald Reagan,
why?
because he was the best president we've ever had.
And he,
The only thing wrong with our country today is the fact we're used to being paid off. They give us free meals, meals to eat, and everything we can for free.
what did Ronald Reagan make you love about our country?
First line.
That's why he always likes to be first in line.
So did you like math?
297.
Was that one of your favorite subjects?
Like that.
Math.
Who's your favorite son or daughter?
Son? We have them here.
Who's your favorite child?
Who's my favorite son?
You're not here.
Favorite daughter, yeah, favorite daughter's right there.
Oh.
Favorite son's right
There we
there.
go.
So did Don leave?
Video
Oh,
proof.
well,
Who's
See that, Emily?
Did you get on video?
Uh-huh.
Did you see that, Emily?
The ones that are here are his favorites.
That's right. What's your favorite holiday?
4th of July. And a wonderful bishop when I was growing up. Went down to see him once a month and took 2 or 3 pennies down, paying him my tithing. My mother taught me at a young age that I was to pay my tithing the first of each month, or I was in trouble. She didn't say what kind of trouble, but I figured it was in trouble with her. She was a great mother, wonderful mother. She taught me the gospel. She was very strong, as all mothers should be. And that's my next thing. I'll think of a million things when
Well,
you
what
go.
about the 4th of July?
4th of July, we had firecrackers. One time I had firecrackers I picked up too soon, and they went off my hand. And I hurt my hand a little bit, but it wasn't bad.
That's what Paul gets it.
So you told us your favorite scripture. Anything else you want to tell us about your... What's that?
His favorite scripture.
Yeah, so you told us your favorite scripture. Tell us something else about the gospel you love. Share a testimony with us.
Well, you could talk to them about the temple.
The temple's the best one. Went to work in the temple here in Provo. I started working there in the baptistry for about 5 years, and worked in the baptistry in the Salt Lake Jordan Temple for 5 years. When I came down here, I hadn't talked to anybody, but I finally did, and they had put me in there. And after a while, someone came down, one of the workers from upstairs came down and said, the president wants to have everybody know what we do in the ordinance work. So if we need you upstairs, we can call you up there. And I was delighted. Totally delighted.
And so what was your best day of the week when you worked in the temple?
They're all good.
Which day was your best day?
All good, all
The
good.
day you worked in the temple.
Yeah, I worked in the temple was good.
Grandpa, I've got a question for you. If you could give one piece of advice to all of your posterity, that would, what would that piece of advice be?
First would be only date girls that can go to the temple.
Or boys. If
Or
you're
boys, girls. Only, date good girls. Don't take advantage of any of them. I've heard a lot this last couple of days about that. But on the, what do they call it, show in the morning?
Mormon channel.
Mormon, yeah, Mormon. There's some good advice this morning there. Come here and tell me.
Keep the commandments.
And keep the commandments.
What advice would Mom say to us if she were to give us
You heard me.
So mom's advice through dad's voice. That covers it.
You heard me.
Speak up, Frank.
We are one. We are one.
Speak up, Frank. Why don't you take her home with you?
Okay.
No.
You don't want to come home with me? You like your own home?
Take her home with
That's
her.
good.
Oh yes, you love their house. Big bedrooms, big kitchen.
Any more advice for us, Grandpa?
So what question did Jay ask?
I asked about celebrities or significant figures,
Heroes?
heroes turned into presidents.
Well, I think it'd be interesting if you
I heard
told them about your teacher that was teaching communism. They might be interested.
I had a teacher when I was in 6th grade. In one of the rooms that she was teaching, she had just come from Russia, and she was telling us about how good Russia was. Wonderful country. And I sat there and said, "You're crazy." I didn't say it out loud, just here. My mother taught me everything about politics and everything else I need to know. So I was a strong Republican, and wasn't a Roosevelt person.
Don't be distracted. Go ahead.
Huh?
We're all listening.
I just didn't believe a word she said about how wonderful it was in Russia.
And this
How the Russians won the war
when was this, Grandpa? When this
during
was
World
in
War
the,
II,
during World War II?
toward the ending of it. Russians hadn't done much, they were pretty well beaten up, but they, at the very end, chased Germany out of the Russian area, but developed the only.
Okay, I have a suggestion. Why don't you tell them what your father taught you about America? Tell about your grandfather, your Swedish grandparents, and what your father taught
My
you.
father was always telling us as children that this country was the best country in the world. There was only one true country, that was ours. It was totally American. He said his father had told him that America is wonderful. He came from Sweden, so he should know. And good parents, great parents. I couldn't have asked for any better parents if I ever tried.
So, Grandpa loves to tell people that his
So-
father was 100% Swede. Okay, go ahead.
Take her home with you. Put her in a package and wrap her up and take her home.
Grandpa,
Dan. Dan. Joe had a question for you.
Okay?
Can you tell me about your mission?
My mission,
Yes, sir.
wonderful. Went to the South as a missionary. I didn't know anything about the South. I didn't know anything. I didn't know much about the gospel, to be honest with you. We never had clubs or anything to teach us except for seminary, and I was in a seminary group at our high school.
they didn't have seminary then.
Didn't have much seminaries. So I felt kind of shorted, but I did fine. I knew what I had to do was learn the gospel. You go down south as a missionary, you've got to know the gospel or they'll eat you up. Because those ministers know the gospel backwards and forwards and know what we believe and what they believe. And I felt very insignificant by just listening to them. I said to myself, I'm going to learn a lot about the church so I can talk to them what they talk to me. So I got to a point, one of the things I enjoyed was a minister from the church at Philadelphia Cathedral. And he was very excited about the Mormon missionaries because he said, I wish I had Mormon missionaries in my church to teach the gospel and at their own payment, not receive any money from anybody but home. He said, I feel like we haven't got a start really in what we need to do. So he asked if I would play the organ in one of his organ recitals in his church. He had a brand new, beautiful church, beautiful cathedral. And he said, I wish that I had people like you in my church, boys like you, who would go out on a mission. And when the time came, I said I couldn't come because I had a meeting I had to be to speak. I was a supervising elder in Central Florida, and I loved the work. I loved the gospel. Might say this: I had one day this time being there. The Cardinals and Yankees were playing over at St. Petersburg, spring training, you know. And being a supervising elder, I could kind of do what I wanted. But I took one afternoon and put a cap over my head, went over there, got totally blistered. I got back to the sister where I stayed. She said, "Oh, Nelson, you're awfully red. Breathe in." And so I didn't tell her. I didn't tell her what I meant. The gospel is so wonderful. I feel sorry for anybody that doesn't go on a mission. That's the one thing every boy and girl should go to, is go on a mission. You hear me, girls? Okay, you're going to go, aren't you? Okay. And I just owe everything I am to the church, if I am anything. I loved it.
You got something going here. 6 kids married in the temple, served missions. I think you're something.
Well, all my children went to the college, graduated from either BYU or UVU. They all left after graduation. They went on missions, including Emily, who said to me one day, "Why, Emily? How about you?" She said to me one day, "Dad, back off." So I backed off for about 2 or 3 months, and all of a sudden, one day, my wife keeps my appointments. She said, "You don't have anything this afternoon except for one big one and others. Just be at the office at 3 o'clock." I thought, that's strange. But I knew what was up. Just had a feeling. I thought that was from Emily. They get her papers from Salt Lake City. And did a cross that day. She was a good missionary. All my children were great missionaries. I loved them very much. My daughter over here, Margaret, was a truly great missionary. She took us to a place in what city was that?
Petropolis.
Petropolis.
Metropolis. And we got to meet the missionaries. We got to see what they did. Met the missionaries. They're just wonderful.
You were pretty important in Petropolis.
No, not really.
What was that
You were
town?
introduced as a
What was that
big
town?
American man.
What was that town where he was so
Victoria.
important in the hotel?
Victoria. Victoria.
Victoria. Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember.
Where they had the communists in there.
No.
No.
The girl that Margaret had arranged for us to come be with. What was her name?
Huh?
The girl that Margaret had arranged for us to show us around
Oh,
town.
yeah. She said, "You don't know how important this man is.
Yeah.
Was Andresa?
You got him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Anybody could sneak in and kill him, take care of him. He should be in a very important place. You can watch him
He's
take
very
care of
important in America, is what she told me.
Hey,
Okay.
So we had a great time down there. One thing I feel bad about, we didn't get to go pick up Dallin and Craig.
I guess you're only gonna have to serve missions again. So you can
Was that good? Yeah. But I was proud to think that all of my children graduated from the university. They went on a mission. They all were very good children. Due to a good mother and a mean dad. I wasn't mean, I was nice, too nice to him. Oh, yeah.
Should we say a family prayer and
thank you,
it's a
Dad.
school night, so-
I wanted to tell you something really cool. When we were talking about him being one half Swede, one day Brig and I were talking, and I said, "Grandpa's half Swede, your dad is 1/4 Swede," and Brig says, "And I'm 1/12 Swede." I just thought that was so cute. Brig just picked it right up.
We went to Sweden to see where my grandmother lived, who'd been deceased for a while. That was the highlight of my trip to Europe. To go to a place where she would hide the missionaries, and the police would come, put them in jail, or do something worse.
So Sweden had at that time a church state.
They just, that
a
day we were
state
there,
church.
they just said that the,
They could only be
church-
Lutheran in
well, after
Sweden.
that day though, they changed the whole thing. But I can't, my children are all very intelligent,
Thank you, Dad.
just like their mother.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, Grandma.
Thank you.
Can we kneel down?